Large ring open. Close.
So I got a release back here, and I got a joystick and air brakes. I just don't have any instruments, so.
If you need me to switch anything,
yeah. So I think everything's good. All right. So when we take off, the nose is gonna lift up, and we're gonna then bounce on the tail, and then we're gonna try to keep it level. So just so you know, when we're gonna be on tow, it's gonna be quite bumpy. So just be aware of that. So if you can close the canopy. So that goes through there. You can push down on it and then push it forward. There we go. Should be good. Radio's good. Alright, closing the air brakes. I'm gonna waggle the tail to tell the tow plane we're ready. Am I recording?
Wait till he lifts the wing to wag your rudder.
Waggle.
that is awesome.
And here we go.
Oh man, this is cool.
There's the nose up. Trying to keep it level. But it can get bumpy.
I'm ready.
Away we go. You can open that air vent if you want.
It's feeling pretty good.
Alright. Yeah, we got pretty good shade today.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
There's the thermal right there.
Woohoo!
You look back and see if I'm recording. Is it red?
I don't see a red.
Is it like a countdown?
Oh yeah, I see a red on the backside.
Cool, alright.
Oh my god, this is so cool.
Yeah, I love it, man. This is way.
Man, this is.
Oh look, it's raining over there.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like when it's raining and you're in the air.
Oh, this is so cool.
That's why I wanted you in the front, because you get a much better view.
I was expecting to sit in the back, and I was cool with that. Oh my god, this is so cool. That's my friend's house. It's literally my shoulder guy that lives there.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to be going up to 3,000 feet.
Okay. What's the perimeter that you can work with it, or that you can fly with it?
We just try to stay within gliding distance from the airport.
What is gliding distance for this glider?
If you are, let's see, I think it was, if you're, I did the math on it. Well, the glide ratio is 23 to 1, so if you're a mile high, you can fly 23 miles.
Gotcha, so we're probably 23, you said?
Yeah.
So we probably got a good 13 miles at least, which is crazy far.
Oh yeah. And this is the worst glide ratio plane the club has.
Really?
So the other ones can go much farther.
That's awesome.
And the good ones can have like 40 to 50, even 60 to 1 glide ratio.
Wow.
The best glide ratio glider was 70 to 1.
That's insane.
I can't imagine what it's like
That is
flying
like
that.
so far.
Yeah. You're 6,000 feet, you can fly 70 miles.
That's ridiculous, man.
But if at any point you start feeling uncomfortable, just let me know.
I'm feeling pretty good. I was honestly expecting it to be rougher.
It was the last flight. It was really rough. But this is much smoother.
Yeah, this isn't bad at all. Oh, this is awesome.
So what I'm trying to do here is trying to keep the tow plane right on the horizon.
Yeah.
When he's in a turn, I'm trying to point my nose at his wingtip, so I'm flying through the same air that he did.
Gotcha.
So it kind of takes a lot of concentration because you don't want to get out of position.
Right. Saying he's dragging you rather than he's dragging you against pretty much not flying on the same plane, I suppose.
Yeah. So it's kind of tricky because he'll hit a thermal before I will. He'll go up, and then I'll go up, and then he'll go out of the thermal, and then I'm still in the thermal, and then I have to go down, but because I'm more efficient, I'll gain speed, and then the line will gain slack, so then I have to slow down and be careful. So this is kind of the trickiest part of flying the gliders. And potentially the most dangerous, besides landing, I guess. But
this is freaking amazing, man! Look at the view.
Yeah.
Oh my god! You can see the clouds.
We're at 2,500 feet, so we got 500 feet to go.
Wow.
He hit a thermal right there. See how he popped up?
Yeah.
Now we hit it right there.
Now he's dropping a little. So what is this joystick? What mechanism are you controlling with it?
The ailerons and the elevators. So, and then the pedals are the rudders.
Gotcha.
So, we're at the base of the clouds now, and we're going to have to get off soon.
Yeah.
So when we release, which you can release it if you want.
Yeah.
But I'll do it when I say it. It's going to jolt, and then we're going to turn right, the plane's going to turn left. So pull whenever you want to. Go ahead and pull the red one. Yep.
You ready?
Yep. Go ahead.
Here we go.
We're turning right. Say goodbye to the sailplane, to the tow plane. And we're at the base of the clouds.
Laterally 3,000 feet, about 3 miles southeast of the field, forward to the secondary left downwind. 7 craft are on.
Alright.
Oh man, this is awesome.
Yep.
Oh dude.
Alright, we did our 360. Everything looks clear.
Good.
So we're actually above cloud base, so this is actually higher than we could actually climb on our own.
Yeah.
Because we can't fly through the clouds.
Right.
We got a bit of extra flight time here. There's the tow plane at 2 o'clock, if you want to see it.
Yep.
See him diving down? He's over the bridge.
Dive.
Yeah. He's trying to get down quickly. So, this is what it's like.
That's awesome.
Just fly around. We're trying to fly slower so that we have less drag. Oh, look at those birds at 9 o'clock.
Oh, cool.
Tower 4 Zulu, left downwind, 7 craft, head out.
Wow. So, one thing I want to show you is something called cloud streets.
Okay.
So you see how off our shoulder, how there's nothing there?
Yeah.
And then you have a row of clouds?
Yeah.
On the other side you have another row of clouds.
Yeah.
If you look farther to the left, you see more and more rows.
Yeah.
We call these cloud streets. Clouds align with the wind when it blows around like 10 miles an hour or so.
Yeah.
So we're getting into this cloud street, and
We're gonna like ride with the wind.
yep.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
clouds are where the thermals are at.
Yeah, so it takes you up.
Yep. So see the variometer? We're not descending anymore.
Yeah.
See how it's at 0?
Tower 4 Zulu,
We're climbing while flying straight. See how it's going up?
Yeah.
We're entering a thermal right now. So this is thermaling right here.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we're going to be gaining altitude now. If I can stay inside this thermal.
Whoa, this is so cool. That's crazy that you just climb this.
Yeah.
So are the thermals only on the edges of the clouds, or are they?
It's about in the middle, but to a certain side of it.
Gotcha. How do you determine, you know, where the thermal is, or you just kind of have to find it?
It's you can kind of look at the clouds. So we gained about 100 feet already.
That's awesome.
I can't continue because we're getting into the clouds now.
Yeah.
But I can continue down this street and not see, we're still climbing even though we're going straight.
Yeah, still climbing just a little bit.
And if you're in a much more efficient glider, you can actually climb. And oh, it's the tow plane's landing off the right.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah. That's so cool.
Now, see, now we're climbing again. But the main thing is, even if you're not climbing, you're actually not descending as fast, so you actually are increasing your glide ratio.
Yeah.
And these cloud streets can go, I've seen satellite pictures of cloud streets in Florida where they go from one side, from the Atlantic to the Gulf.
Wow.
So you could essentially keep flying all the way to the Gulf of Mexico.
So, I mean, are we just following this little column right here?
Yeah. So we're still climbing, see?
Wow. Yeah.
We're in another thermal. So the thermal activity's going up. Now, I'm trying not to keep these flights too long because the conditions are getting much better and we could pretty much stay all day.
Yeah.
And I'm sure my friends are getting hungry and your wife would like to go. So now, if I go in this...
If I knew, I would have brought you guys lunch. We just stopped by to grab some food.
Well, that's alright. So if I go in the middle, it's actually more sync. We're actually going to descend faster.
Gotcha. Just because there's no thermal activity?
Yeah, the thermals kind of line up in the wind, and the thermal are marked by the clouds. So when there's wind, it kind of organizes the thermals, and then where the thermals aren't is where a sync is. So now that we're in the middle of these cloud streets, we're actually
we're descending,
going down faster. So how about you want to try to fly a little bit?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, you have the controls. If anything happens, you just tell me. Anything you don't like, just tell me and I'll take control. But do whatever you want. And if things go crazy, I'll take control.
Wow.
And this plane is very easy to fly, so you don't really have to worry about.
How fast did you ever get in this plane?
About 65. I've never really gone fast in a glider. If you want, you can see it's going to get really loud with the wind noise, which is pretty cool.
So what are the pedals for you? Oh, it levels
That's the rudder.
Gotcha.
No, it controls the yaw.
Okay.
So go ahead and move them around and see what it does. See how
you pivot on a horizontal plane.
So this yarn is the most accurate instrument we have. This is telling us how straight we're flying through the air. So if it's straight back, we're flying straight. How about let's do a 180, either direction.
Alright, here we go.
So now you want to lead with the roll.
Okay.
So you want to roll the wings.
Okay.
And then you want to use the rudders to keep that strength coming straight back. And let the nose drop a little bit. So that's alright. Alright, you're covered pretty well.
So what am I, as far as the pedals and the joystick goes, what's the movement to do a 180?
So I'll keep it, I'll take control here. You can follow along.
Sure.
So you kind of want to keep it together. So if I move the ailerons, I want to move the rudders with it. So you can see how I'm moving both. And this is a good exercise. And you want to try to keep that string in the middle. We're hitting thermal, so it's kind of hard. So, wow, that's a strong thermal. See, we're at like 400 feet per minute up. It's going to be hard to come down. So I'll do a 90 degrees. So I turn in with right pedal, trying to put enough to keep that string straight. And you can kind of feel it with your side. You kind of want to feel like you're just being put straight down the seat. So how about you give it a try? I'll level out and you go ahead. And try to keep the nose at a certain distance above the under the horizon and just keep it there. So you're trying to combine all three controls.
Try it again. I think I'm keeping the nose a little too high.
That's good. Alright, doing great. Pull the nose up a little bit. Hold it there. Now we're hitting some thermal, so it's a little bit tricky. Alright, nose down. Good. That's pretty good.
Wow, that's a lot of concentration.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky.
I mean, that's definitely fun though.
Yeah.
It's definitely fun. And I feel like once you get, you know, once it's innate,
Yeah.
then you're really just, you know, kind of enjoying it. And
Now let's do a 90 degree to the right.
right?
Yeah. Because the airports to our left and our front, those are naval airports, and their airspace is pretty close, so we don't want to get into their airspace. No, this is good. You can just keep flying this way. So if you want to have some fun with G-forces, I hope you want to do some zero gravity.
Yeah, let's try it.
All right, I have control. You can follow with me.
All right, go ahead.
We're gonna pull up, and then nose over.
That's awesome.
And then we can do some positive G if you want, so we'll speed up. You can hear how the wind.
Yeah. Oh.
And then negative G.
Whoa, that is awesome.
So that probably wasn't entirely zero G, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to overdo it.
Yeah.
We're at 700 feet. So we're getting kind of close to the altitude where we would need to start thinking about landing.
Yeah.
If we got a thermal pretty soon, we can keep flying, but I think we'll start to head to land.
Yeah.
So you got a good taste of thermaling. We got a plane to our 2 o'clock low.
Cool.
So he's probably landing.
How far apart, time-wise, do you try to space out all the landings?
You
Just
want to
so
try
that,
to
you give them enough time.
you want to try to time it so that they're off the runway by the time you're landing. But we're landing on the grass, so we don't really have to worry. So we're pretty much at the midpoint with the airport.
Okay.
So this is a pretty good. So we're going to be landing in the same direction we're headed. So we're kind of flying parallel. So we're going to enter like a 45. So if you can imagine, we're going to turn 180 degrees to head back toward the runway at a 45-degree angle to the midpoint of the airport.
Gotcha.
Once we're about half a mile away from the runway, we're going to turn parallel again, but heading in the opposite direction that we're going to land. Then once we're about 45 degrees off our shoulder, we're going to turn back toward the airport. Then when we're lined up, we're going to turn to line up with the runway. So now we're doing that 45 entry, and I'm going to call the radio to tell everybody where we're at. Herlong traffic, you have a red and white glider entering the 45 entry for left down runway 7 first grass, Herlong traffic.
Herlong traffic, 74 Foxtrot Mike, 7 short final, 7 full stop. Herlong.
There's that other plane you saw. So now we're heading straight toward it. So if you look to the left or right wing, I'm going to open the air brakes and you'll see them open. See that?
Yeah.
That's what's going to help us.
That's it, huh?
Help us slow down. So now we're getting pretty close to having to turn downwind. So I'm going to call again. I'm going to try to get a red white glider left down. 7 first grass, we're going to try to land traffic this side. Alright, so we're kind of high. So we're going to open up those air brakes.
So it slows you down and it also drops altitude?
Yeah, it basically causes more drag, and it causes the wings also to lose their lifting power, so it's kind of a double effect. Alright, so we're about 45 degrees to our landing point, so we're going to turn base. Now it's going to get bumpy because we're getting close to the ground, and with the trees and everything.
Wow, this is so cool, man. Wow.
Alright, turning final now.
So when you say, you know, over our shoulder, is that a specific term, or, because like, how do I know if you mean the left shoulder or the right shoulder? You know?
Or the runway, it's kind of how we learn. We do this sort of racetrack pattern around the runway, and that's how we're trained to land. And that gives us certain aim points that we can use to make our landings more uniform. Helps us land better. Alright. Here we go.
Wow.
Trying to keep it off the skid. Alright. And that's that.
Dude, that was awesome.
Okay.
Cool. That was awesome. That was it. Your dad was scaring me, man. Because he said, you took your mom up and she was feeling queasy.
Yeah, I'll get out first and then I'll help you get out because the nose is going to want to come up. So I'll hold the nose down.
That was awesome. Thank you,
First
sir.
glider flight, right?
Yeah. That was cool. Wow.
Did you feel yourself sliding when you're coming in on that 45 to the downwind?
Yeah, the wind is it's strong. Yeah, and on base you have to be careful.
You got a GoPro there or something?
It's the Sony version. It's 4K camera.
It's a go something.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
I got to fly it a little, learn how to make some 90-degree turns.
Were you stalling?
That was cool.
You
showing him a stall? I saw you.
we were doing some 0G and
Yeah, that
some
was
positive
really
G.
I got you.
Yeah, we were like going all the way up and then just diving in. Oh, man, that was really cool.
Ready to go?
You ready?
Sure.
Here we go. You got the Duck Dynasty now.
Yes, the spirits are with me.
The Duck Gods are with you.
Yeah, you learn how to thermal and do the cloud streets
Yeah, that was.
and turn.
Do we need a ticket for her?
I already gave it. The one I gave you was the one for her.
Okay, but what? Okay, so he had 4.
Yep.
Okay. So we should have. He should have 5 tickets, right?
5 total. Yep.
Okay.
All right. So don't put your hand here. Put your hand here, and you can step on the step and. Oops. So feel free to keep your feet on the pedals if you want to. You can keep your hand on the joystick if you want to, just don't fight me. This is the air brakes, so I might be moving that a little bit. This is the altimeter, this is the radio. That's an air vent, you can open and close that if you need more air. That's the airspeed, radio, the variometer that tells us if we're going up or down, and that's the compass, and that's the radio on and off switch. That's about it.
Are these all gliders you guys
So we have these lap belts. You see I have 2. So you have these shoulder ones, and these go in there before it goes there. So
So you live around here, right?
Yeah.
So you could become a member.
This goes.
Yeah, once I get my, get my license and all that
That one.
jazz.
Yep.
How long is that process?
Well, I just did it. It's just weekends.
So
And
yep, push it
I
through.
did it in about a year.
That's that. And then to release it, you just
What's the process?
pull here, and that's that.
It took me from.
That's about it.
You have.
Okay.
You don't have
So if
power
at any
license.
point you feel uncomfortable or queasy or anything, just let me know. I'll try to smooth it all out. If you feel like you need to land, just let me know, and we'll come down as soon as I can.
No,
And
it's cheaper than playing golf.
when we're on tow, it's going to be kind of bumpy, but that's kind of the most bumpy part of the ride. When we start rolling, the nose is going to come up, and we'll probably hit the tail wheel, and then I'll have to keep the plane level. So just so you know, if the nose comes up like this, that's supposed to happen. So this is the release. Don't touch that. Unless you want a much shorter flight. So, but
Duck Dynasty.
so I'll be in the back, and yeah, so
Alright.
that's about it. Also, when closing the canopy, basically this goes down here, and then you match this in this slot, and then you rotate it this way to close it. Alrighty.
What are you gonna do? You're about to go gliding with
Yeah.
our pilot on the desk.
Hello.
Excited?
Nervous.
It's smooth. It was smooth.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's like
There
40
wasn't a
miles
lot
per hour.
Pull the
There
release
wasn't
for
a
me.
lot of circling.
Pull the release.
Talk to the PIC.
Okay, sorry, pull the release for me.
Okay.
She's standing on the other side. Did you take videos up there?
Yeah.
So we're hooking up the tow line now.
Open. And then put it in there. Now this has got to come up this way. Close. See how there's a little hole right there? Up. There we go.
So you kind of got to help.
What I like about this airplane is
I'm going to be getting my belts on now.
go ahead and put your swing down.
Yeah. Also, if you feel like you want to fly,
Okay.
I will let you do that once we are in a safe position to do that.
Make sure this is secure.
Okay.
Herlong traffic, tow plane 774 from Zulu departing
Okay. So we're going to close the air brakes here. That's locked. Okay, we're wagging the rudder to tell the tow plane we're ready. Here we go, it's going to rise up. There it is. Now we keep it level. We're going to take off real soon. There we go, we're up and away. But here's where it may get bumpy. That is because the trees cause turbulence with the wind. So now that we're above the trees, it should get a little bit better, but when he goes up like that, he hit a thermal and we're hitting it right now. Sorry to say, but his flight was a bit smoother than this one. Now the reason why I'm pointing the nose off to the side is when he goes up and then down, because this plane is more efficient than that one. I gain speed quicker, and now the develop slack in the line, and I have to get rid of that slack slowly. So by flying kind of sideways, I increase my drag and that slows me down. So that's, I'm just saying that's normal. Let's see, if I go down. Alright, it should get a little smoother now. When you're down low, you have all the little thermals and they're quite strong. Alright, we're at 1,300 feet. You feeling okay?
Yeah.
Alright. River on the left. So Viet was saying that your friend's house is to the left here, down on the left. Okay, 2,000 feet. So we got about 1,000 feet to go and then we'll release. So I'll talk you through the release. So you would pull that red knob, which you can do it if you want. Not now. But so when that happens, the plane is kind of going to jolt because we're going to release the tow rope. And then we're going to turn right pretty hard. Not that hard. We're going to roll right, the tow plane's going to roll left. And then we can say wave goodbye to the tow plane. So I'll let you know close to when that's going to happen, so you're ready for it.
How often do you go gliding?
I try to go every weekend. I love it. I'm certified to fly powered planes, but I love these gliders way more.
Why is that?
I love the view and the quietness, and then the thermaling where you can climb without a motor and stay up all day. I think that's the coolest thing. And it's very relaxing. You don't have to wear a headset, you don't have to talk over an intercom. Frequently, when I'm in thermals, there are birds in them flying with you. I've taken pictures of flying in thermals with birds. It's very beautiful. One of my favorite quotes that I've heard. Alright, I'll continue that after. So we're at 2900, so we're going to be getting off soon. So if you want, you can pull that red knob whenever you want. If you want to pull it, or I'll pull it.
You can pull it.
Alright, so we're going to pull in 3, 2, 1. There it goes. The tow plane, we can wave goodbye to the tow plane. And we're with
Laterally 3,000 feet, about 2 miles east of the field, pulling to left downwind 7 grass roll.
Alright, so we're making a few clearing turns, just making sure there's no other planes. Because Jacksonville is quite busy. Yeah, we have an airport there. We have an airport on the left at like 10 o'clock there. Off your right shoulder, there's another airport right there. All of those are naval airfields. And then to the north is Jacksonville International. So this is what it's like flying without the tow plane. And you can see it, we're flying about 45 miles an hour. It's quite quiet and very smooth. So we can, so what I was going to say was that one of my favorite quotes about flying or soaring was that if flying was man's language, soaring would be its poetry.
Yeah.
And I love that quote. We can do a gentle turn here over the airfield. It looks like we don't have a lot of clouds around.
Is it better to fly on a cloudy day?
So under the clouds, those are where the thermals are. So that's where you can keep climbing up. But right now we're kind of in what we call a blue hole. There's not really any clouds around here. There probably could still be some thermals, but we don't have any clouds to mark where they are. So it's kind of tricky.
So it comes to you on a surprise.
But this makes it very smooth. There we may be hitting a little bit of a thermal, but do you want to try to fly a little bit? Just see what it's like. I'll be on the controls, so if anything happens, I'm right here. And you can just move the stick around and see what it's like. And this plane is very gentle, so you don't really have to worry about going out of control or anything. Oh, so here's a little cloud that's forming, so if we would fly straight to it, we would probably hit a thermal.
And somewhere there?
Now you see the little puffy cloud coming up? So under the cloud, there are thermals that basically follow the clouds. So we're basically hitting the edge of it. That's why we're getting kind of a little bit of bumpiness. And there it is. See how the Vario is going? Well, it was going up. Might have missed it to the side, or now it's here. Yeah, it's a little bit bumpy. Here's another cloud coming up. Well, I think I missed it, so we can turn around. We're getting kind of low, but I'm trying to keep these flights kind of short. But that's kind of the general idea. I think I missed it to the side, so we can try to do a 180 and fly next to where we flew. Yeah. Looks like the thermal activity is not as strong right now. There's a little bit of something. Okay, we got a little bit of lift. So, alright, so here's a thermal. So if you feel uncomfortable, just let me know. But basically, we try and fly inside of the thermal. And by doing that, we gain altitude. Because this air is rising because it's hot. So by flying inside of it, we can climb. Which I'm not going to do it for too long. Because it's kind of just going to be the same thing. But this one's not very strong. You can see the Vario, that's the instrument to the left of the compass. How it was going above zero, so that means we're climbing. And the leftmost instrument, that's the altimeter, and you can see that we are not really losing any altitude, but gaining very slowly. So I'm probably going to get out of it because it's not very strong. So we'll probably just go ahead and land. So that's generally what thermaling is. And you can see we're flying in circles, but we stayed at 1,700 feet.
Yeah.
And if it was stronger, we could be climbing. So that's a taste of thermaling.
Where do you usually go flying here in Jacksonville?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a member of the club here, so. But it's quite the drive to drive from Gainesville over here.
Every week.
But
do they not have one club like this in Gainesville?
no, this is actually the closest one around.
Wow.
The next one is in Orlando.
Oh, that's...
So that's quite a ways. I love it here. The people are really nice. So we're flying away from the airport, and we're going to try to fly parallel to the runway for our landing. We're probably going to be hitting some thermals here because of the residential areas, but so with airplanes we do what's called a racetrack pattern or a traffic pattern. And that's how we land. And it's basically a rectangle that we fly around the airport to set up to land. So as you can see, we've flown a little bit away from the airport. So the way we enter the traffic pattern is what we call a 45-degree entry. So we're going to fly 45 degrees to the midpoint of the airport, which we're going to start doing now. So I'm going to call on the radio. Herlong traffic, you have a red and white glider turning for the 45-degree entry, left down, runway 7, first grass, Herlong traffic. Kind of a long-winded thing to say, but that's the procedure. So if you look to the left or right, on the wings, you'll see those air brakes opening up. So those are what help us land, because these gliders are so efficient, we need help to get the plane on the ground. So these help us slow down and lose altitude. Getting close to turning to downwind, so we're going to be flying parallel to the runway, so I'm going to call on the radio. I'm trying to be able to rhythm like glider turns up, down, like some first crash one. Alright. Now we're parallel to the runway. Gonna get bumpy again like it was when we were taking off.
Do you need me to hang over here on the taxiway or stay clear of the run-up?
Affirmative, thank you for holding the glider. Glider is turning left base, Herlong traffic. Okay, turning back toward the runway. There's the thermal from the armory. Now we're going to turn to line up for where we're going to land. Alright, now it could get bumpy again because we're getting to the trees. Now we're opening the air brakes again. That was the guy that was holding for us. Very kind of him. And now we're coming into land.
That was so smooth.
Not on the ground yet.
But even that was so smooth.
Alrighty. There we go. And we're still flying because of the wind. So I'm keeping the wings up. So you can see that's what I'm moving on the with the stick. See that? The flaps on the end. So I could keep us level with the wind that's
Until
blowing.
they told us.
Well, I can put us on the ground with the ailerons. Nice and slow. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to get out and help you out.
Okay.
But that's that.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
Hope we don't take off again. Alright.
Well, is it kind of like hard to take off without being towed?
Well, you have to be towed.
Yeah, it's good to take off.
Let's see. How am I going to get out? There we go. Alright.
So you said that.
Yep. Alright, so I'm going to hold the nose down because when you get out it's going to want to come up. So just be careful. We'll lift up the nose. And plane is secure.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
Glad you enjoyed it. So, no seasickness, no. I'm glad.
Was he getting seasick?
No, and none of them did either, but when I took my mom, she did. And ever since then I
Yeah,
felt...
well, your dad was saying that she was recording and then that was kind of making
Yeah, I felt so bad because of that, so I was really trying to make sure no one...
No, I felt fine. That was really fun. I don't know if I do it again.
No?
Yeah, but...
Did you try flying?
Yeah, I held on for like 5 seconds. I was like, you can have it back. It was really cool. I can see why people want to do skydiving and all that jazz.
This is like, the view is just amazing. Oh, look
And
at
it was
that
such
cloud
a-
formation. That was really funky.
It was a very smooth ride. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it was not bad at all.
I would totally like to do it again. That was
Yeah.
great.
Oh, that was sweating.
And you're on camera, by the way.
Oh, really? It's everything I'm saying.
I kept it...
say?
It's going to be all one with Viet, so...
Okay.
Perfect.
So
Cool.
I kept it running from
Gotcha.
after we were flying.
Alright. No, that'd be cool.
I'm probably going to
He
end
was,
it
oh my
now.
god, that was such a smooth landing. He's like, we haven't landed yet. I'm like, great.
We haven't landed yet. Oh, yeah,
We're still flying.
Yeah, that's what's tricky is because the wind's blowing
Yeah, it's
And if it increases speed, then you gain more lift, so you kind of. So like right now, increase speed, so you kind of go up.
And then
But yeah,
Take time with it, yeah.
but I like my landings. I'm happy.
That was great, dude. You're a great pilot, man.
very much so.
Yeah,
And
that
you
was-
explained everything, I felt very safe.
I'm glad that I try to, because these two, they've never been in a plane before.
Yeah, they were telling me that. I'm like, oh, your expectations are like really hard, man.
That's cool.
But yeah, so that's what it's like to fly in a glider.
Cool, man.
I would do it again. I would need to regain my strength, but I'm gonna do it every week.
I would be down to do a longer flight. Like when I was coming down, I was like, I wish to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, I
If you
think
ever
your
want a
shorts are
partner for like a longer flight, I'm